Have you ever been to a busy airport? Planes taking off, people coming and going? It's full of life. And if you look closely, you'll notice something. So many of those planes are white. It's like a sea of white wings. Have you ever wondered why that is? Why are so many planes painted white? Well, there are some really practical reasons. It makes sense for how planes work, it saves airlines money, and there's even a little bit of history involved. It's not a coincidence that white is the most popular color for airplanes. Airlines all over the world choose white for their planes, and it all comes down to things that help planes fly better and help airlines save money. Think about wearing a white shirt on a sunny day. It helps you stay cool because white reflects sunlight, and that's really important for airplanes, especially when they're flying high above the clouds where the sun is super strong. Just like that white shirt keeps you cool, a white airplane doesn't absorb as much heat as a darker colored plane. That means the inside of the plane stays cooler, which is good news for passengers. And it also means the plane doesn't have to use as much air conditioning. And when the air conditioning doesn't have to work so hard, the plane saves fuel. Keeping an airplane in tip-top shape costs a lot of money, and that includes painting them. White paint is a lot cheaper than other colors. It's like buying the standard version of something. It's usually the best deal. Plus, white paint doesn't fade as quickly as other colors, so airlines don't have to paint their planes as often. That saves them even more money. And when it's time to sell a plane, a white one is easier to sell. It's like a blank canvas that another airline can easily put their own logo and colors on. Painting airplanes white isn't a new idea. It's been going on since the very beginning of flying. Back then, planes were made of wood and fabric, kind of like a kite. And the best way to protect that fabric from the sun and rain was to paint it white, especially with a special kind of white paint that used to be common back then. Even as planes became more modern, the reasons for using white paint stayed the same. So, painting planes white became a tradition in the world of aviation. Remember how we talked about white being good for keeping planes cool? Well, it's also really good for helping to keep planes safe. It's easier to spot cracks, dents, or any problems on a white surface. That means mechanics can fix those problems before they become big problems. And if there's ever an emergency, a white plane is easier to see, whether it's in the air, in a field, or in the water. That makes it easier for rescue crews to find the plane and help anyone who needs it. We've talked a lot about why white is so popular for airplanes, but you do see other colors sometimes, and those colors are important too. Those colors and designs are called liveries, and they're like the airline's outfit. They help you know which airline it is, just like you recognize your friends by how they look. Sometimes airlines even paint their planes with special designs to celebrate something important or to advertise something. So while white is the most popular color for airplanes, those splashes of color help make the skies a little more interesting.